So now you wake up in the morning and you say, today I want to risk $5,000 or today I want to risk $3,000, right? Let's say your first entry you took, you lost like 1,000. You can still take another entry. Do you understand? As long as you are still in the range of that your daily target, you can still take another entry. That is where a good risk management comes in. At the point when price reversed, I think it was NFP, I think it was CPI also, but it was just some kind of crazy news. So when price reversed, all my skilled in position tanked. Like I was in negative, I was in mad drawdown. At that point, I was confused. I was like,
Hi guys, welcome back to today's episode.
hi guys.
So, Mr. Phoenix, I have a question for you. You made the entry, you cut the bottom, price moved into your direction. So, how did you still lose money? Let's talk about one thing traders ignore until it's too late, which is risks.
Okay, basically it's a normal thing, when you have a good entry and you still lose money. Do you understand? Like I said, in the market, there is nothing like certainty. You might feel like your entry is the best entry ever. You might feel like you got the sniper entry, but that is not where price is looking out to buy from. Do you understand? So, for me, actually, I would take risk over good entries. Do you understand? Because if you have a good risk management, I mean, entries is a normal thing. Even a newbie can catch a perfect entry, but as long as you don't have a good risk management, you are just wasting your time. So risk management or risk is something every trader should put in first before looking out for entries. That's my answer to this.
So, if you had to choose between perfect entry or perfect risks, which one would you choose?
Well, perfect entry or perfect risk, like I said, there's nothing like a perfect entry, right? And also there's nothing like a perfect risk. Do you get it's, I don't know, it's like a 50-50 kind of thing. Do you understand? You have to take the both of them as a priority. Do you get? So now you have to understand that for you to have a perfect entry, the risks your risk to reward for that entry should also be good. Do you understand? You cannot have one and not have one. It goes hand in hand. Do you understand my point? So I wouldn't say there's anything like perfect entry and perfect risk. They both go hand in hand. So just focus on the two, prioritize the two, make sure you have good entries, and also make sure you have a good risk management. So that's it.
Moving on to my next question. Have you ever revenge traded just to prove that your entry is right?
Have I ever revenged the trade just to prove
Yes.
that my entry is right?
Yes.
Um I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't lie because this is like, a conversation. Yes, yeah, sure, as I have actually. I have. There are times you just, as a trader, there's what we call ego, right? Especially when you know your setup, especially when you know some few things and you've seen this thing multiple times in the market, right? And that thing occurs again, but it doesn't play out the way it plays out. So now you're like, I know this thing. Do you understand? I know this thing, and this thing has to happen the way it used to happen. So now when you take your first entry and it doesn't work out, you want to go again. You want to like retry. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I'll just say it's trying to, but as long as you haven't passed your daily limits, because as a trader, right? As a trader, you should have a daily limit. So now you wake up in the morning and you say, today I want to risk $5,000 or today I want to risk $3,000, right? Let's say your first entry you took, you lost like 1,000. You can still take another entry. Do you understand? As long as you are still in the range of that your daily target, you can still take another entry. That is where a good risk management comes in. Do you understand? But if you have exceeded, when call it a revenge trade, is if you have exceeded your daily limits and you still want to go above your daily limits, that's where a revenge trade comes in. So it happens. It happens. There are times price market condition is not even favorable. Then you take entry, it kicks you out. As long as you haven't hit your daily target for that day, you can still look for entries again and take another trade. So it's not bad.
Okay. What's one risk mistake that you made that cost you a lot?
One risk mistake that I made that cost me a lot. I would say scaling in. Yeah, I'll say scaling in. Um, I scale in a lot whenever I'm trading. Like when I mean scaling, let's say for example, I'm taking like 10 I'm taking like I take like first position with like let's say 10 lots. Then as price goes on, I break even, I take another position. So I scale in a lot. Do you understand? I scale in a lot, and in the process of scaling in, I lost count, or I lost calculation of how much I was going to risk or how much I was risking. So at the point when price reversed, I think it was NFP, I think it was CPI also, but it was just some kind of crazy news. So when price reversed, all my skilled in position tanked. Like I was in negative, I was in mad drawdown. At that point, I was confused. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? At this point, like, what am I going to do? That's one thing. That's one there's always a pros and cons for everything. I think that's one of the bad things of scaling in. Because if you don't scale in right with the right entry and you don't use a proper risk management in scaling in, price is definitely going to fuck you over. So I think, yeah, that's one mistake I've made. Scaling in is kind of crazy, and I didn't do it well. It's not like as if it's bad, but I didn't do it well.
So now, if a new trader is listening, which one advice will you give him to prioritize the most? Is it the entries or risks?
Um, if a new trader is watching this, I would tell you, if you're the one watching this, I'll tell you out there to prioritize the both. Do you understand? You can't have one and not have the other one. You have to have the both of them for you to be a good trader. Do you understand? Good entry plus good risk management. They're like brothers and sisters. Do you understand my point? So if you don't have a good risk management, your entries are just nonsense. You can catch the sniper entry, but you are not risking well. Do you understand my point? So prioritize the both of them. Prioritize the both of them. Learn good entries, also learn good risk management. And trust me, in a few years, trust me, in few years, everything in life or everything in trading takes time. In few years, you see yourself propelling.
So, guys, this brings us to the end of today's episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on your post notification. Thank you.
Peace out,
Bye.
guys. Bye, guys.